A very good evening and welcome to this Sunday's edition of News First Weekend, coming to you live from our News1st studios in Colombo. I'm Kannangara. As always, let's start off with a look at the stories making headlines this evening.
Catch the thieves, a call to action for the Prime Minister from crowds in Kandy. Registrar of the Askiriya chapter advises the former Foreign Minister. Who will be the new Foreign Minister? Minister Sajid Premadas offers guidance on how to carry out projects free of fraud and corruption. Police reveal underworld ties to shootout in Negombo. Sri Lanka unimpacted by Sumatra earthquake. Assurances from the Met Department. Usain Bolt bids farewell in pain.
And now for the stories in detail. Police have revealed that the two men injured in a shootout with police special task force personnel in Negombo yesterday are members of an underworld gang. The police said that detention orders had been obtained for 1 week for 4 suspects who were placed under arrest, including the 2 injured men. The police STF noted that Vajrakumara, who was injured in the shootout, is a henchman of notorious underworld gang leader Madhush. Vajrakumara is being treated at the intensive care unit of the National Hospital in Colombo. The second suspect, who was wounded in the shooting, Champika Kumara Jayatunga, is being treated at the Colombo North Teaching Hospital in Ragama. A third suspect who was taken into custody has been identified as a Navy deserter, Janaka Arunashant, a 40-year-old resident of Theldenia. Tarindu Madhusha, a 31-year-old resident of Ragama, has also been taken into custody. Acting on a tip-off that a group of men were attempting to carry out a robbery, the police STF inspected 2 vans at the Kurana Junction yesterday. The police media spokesperson SP Ruwan Gunasekara noted that the suspects had opened fire on the STF personnel from the van, forcing officers to return fire. SP Gunasekara added that the police had seized 2 T-56 assault rifles, 3 T-56 magazines and a pistol from the suspects. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe paid homage to the sacred tooth relic in Kandy this morning.
The gold-plated roof here is an important part which we see as necessary to be renovated. I have informed the Devadanana Nilame and I am going to inform the chief prelates that the government will undertake the task of renovating this. Upon leaving the temple of the sacred tooth relic, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe engaged in cordial discussions with the devotees there. Around 8 cases have been examined and submitted for legal action. That has been done on our part. The other thing is, as promised before, the final phase of the construction on the expressway is underway. We have handed these tasks over to Japan while funds are being allocated for the mid part of it. The Chinese government is handling the construction of the first phase of it. We met a Japanese representative on Friday. They have agreed to draw up plans for a cultural and Buddhist center in Kandy and to also promote it as a tourist center and industrial zone. Thereafter, the Prime Minister inspected the International Museum at the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic. An alms-giving ceremony was organized at the premises of the temple to mark the Prime Minister's 40-year political career.
UNP parliamentarian Ravi Kannangara visited the Askiri Mahaviharya this morning.
MP Kannangara called on the chief prelate of the Askiriya chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Varakagoda Sri Nyan Ratana Thera, and received his blessings. Registrar of the Askiriya chapter, Venerable Maddegama Dhammananda Thera, gave his counsel to the MP.
We invoke our blessings for your arrival here. There is a crisis situation concerning the bond incident, so the most appropriate thing to do at this point is to remain silent until all matters concerning this issue have been ascertained and until investigations are completed. What we see is that before being convicted as the accused, there are certain changes that are taking place in the political sphere surrounding this issue. We feel that there are various views as well as power struggles concerning this matter. We will remain neutral until a solution is found. We also feel that being a sovereign country, it is the people who should decide.
MP Kannangara spoke to the media upon leaving the temple premises.
We will definitely move forward regarding the conduct of the Attorney General's department. The judges appointed to the commission questioned us very well, which I admire. I took my decision based on the faith that I had in them.
The Ceylon Today newspaper reports that the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division is to be dismantled and dissolved shortly. Quoting a senior official at the FCID, the Ceylon Today says the staff at the division will return to the Police Criminal Investigations Division and the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption, respectively.
The newspaper further quotes the senior official at the FCID that it is struggling to conclude 62 high-profile financial corruption cases. He added that their expertise is quote-unquote not used as expected and most of the charge files are collecting dust at the Attorney General's department. The senior official added that the FCID had been waiting for too long to hear orders from the AG's department on serious cases that are pending. He went on to note that even though the files pertaining to some of the serious cases were returned to the AG's department, they still remain pending. Instructions are yet to be given to some of the cases which were referred to the AG's department 2 years ago. One such file cites the establishment of a Bank of Ceylon branch in Seychelles and the transfer of funds to companies there. According to Ceylon Today, there are several other cases against the Rajapaksas and one directly involving the former president's chief of staff, Gamini Senarath. The newspaper says another case awaiting the AG's instructions pertains to allegations against businessman Nandana Lokuvithana and his relationship with former President Mahinda Rajapaksa and deals ranging between 48 to 190 million rupees. The senior FCID official had told Ceylon Today that the FCID has no clue about cases such as the one involving Sri Lankan ambassador to Russia, Udayanga Weerathunga, apart from seeing him on Facebook with no sign of breakthrough on that case. The source adds that there were several other cases which could be investigated, provided the Aegis department gives the FCID orders to do so. He said when the FCID officials return to other branches such as the CID and Bribery Commission, they hope that these cases could be taken up without delay. While the newspaper reports that Minister of Law and Order Sagal Ratnayaka was unavailable for comment, senior lawyers commenting on the move to dismantle the FCID said if the files are moved to other departments of the police, there would be practical difficulties resulting in further delays in the investigation process.
Now, obviously, it seems to me that the AG's department thinks there isn't enough evidence. It doesn't mean that, the charges are not true, but it does mean that you cannot prosecute unless there's evidence. Now, I think the point about what this government is saying is that the AG's department is working very swiftly on the bond scam. But with the point of the bond scam, there is so much evidence. This government managed to alienate the best of the public servants. So that is why this case is proceeding so quickly. Now, in other cases, if there isn't evidence, no one can do anything. So there's no point, claiming that these people are delayed deliberately. What you have to do is look for evidence.
If FCID has been in place for the last 2.5 years, I think the government has incurred heavy expenditure to maintain this institution. Unfortunately, it is reported that most of the cases are now held up in the Department of the Attorney General. If that is the issue involved, I believe it could be without any problem resolved by giving suitable instructions to the Attorney General to expedite all the cases, because if the bottleneck is the Attorney General, I do not think it is appropriate to shut down the FCID. People expect resolution of these issues and people want action taken against perpetrators of various financial crimes in the previous government and in the present government. I do not think there should be any change of the stance at this particular moment, because the people want solution, in the sense action taken against all the perpetrators, whether they are in the opposition or in the government.
The Presidential Commission of Inquiry on Bonds, the resignation of Kannangara and the no-confidence motion are some of the main topics of many political arenas at present. Now, Minister of Justice and Buddhasasana Vijayadasa Rajapaksa is the latest addition to these key topics of discussion surrounding a no-confidence motion. Various views were expressed over the past 2 weeks by United National Party MPs about their party member, Minister of Justice and Buddhasasana Vijayadasa Rajapaksa. The internal conflict within the party came to light in a statement made by Deputy Minister Ajit P. Pereira on the Saturday political program telecast on Sirius TV on the 1st this month.
There was discussion in the cabinet as well that a special court must be established to investigate fraud and corruption. But why isn't this coming out?
The Justice Minister is not in favour of it. We have on countless occasions requested that this mechanism be used. The Justice Minister must act with responsibility, but he has not taken any proper steps in this regard.
Since then, many backbench MPs of the United National Party have made statements confirming the revelation made by Deputy Minister Ajit P. Pereira that the Attorney General's Department, which is under the purview of Minister Vijayadasa Rajapaksa, is delaying action against corruption allegations of the previous regime.
We even urge the Minister of Justice as well. He makes various statements. We cannot locate his whereabouts. We inform him that we will take a decision about him as well. When they try to be people who are beyond them, they make such statements to deceive the people.
While the state of affairs between the minister and backbench MPs of the party took such a turn, the views of the opposition and civil society organizations took a different turn.
Just like the Attorney General's Department operated before the Bond Commission, we want them to gather all other financial fraud in the country and bring the real perpetrators behind these crimes before the law and punish them. Most importantly, the massive amounts of money stolen from the people should be recovered and returned to the people. Other than doing this, the Justice Minister has no reason whatsoever to interfere in the activities of the Attorney General's Department. If the Justice Minister had established a special court to examine financial fraud, like we had mentioned in our slogan, the present situation could have been prevented.
When considering the propaganda campaign on Justice Minister Vijayadasa Rajapaksa at present and the way in which he is being chased and attacked, it appears to me that it is because, as the Justice Minister, he had told Ben Emerson, the UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights and Preventing Terrorism, that this is not a colony and that this is an independent country. We must stand to protect him. If we who are in government can be treated in this way, doesn't the Attorney General's Department, which has known about these cases for 28 months, have the strength to take action? It would be good if they can use me as an example and investigate those cases too in 48 hours. I will not speak of other matters because we have set a certain standard among ourselves, but I call on them to show their skill to the others as well. If the Attorney General's Department is not carrying out its work, then it is the responsibility of the Cabinet and the government to get it done. The government must take responsibility. It will not do to simply blame the officials. The people voted for the government, not the officials. If the Attorney General's Department is delaying, then the government must intervene. The government promised to establish a special court. It won't do to simply put this on the shoulders of the Justice Minister. The Cabinet and the President can strengthen this process through the Judicial Service Commission. It is the responsibility of the Justice Minister to make this more efficient and to ensure the law is enforced swiftly. Public opinion at present is that he is not carrying out this task. Government MPs share this opinion too. Maybe Ajit Pereira's statement was a result of this. The background is being laid for a no-confidence motion. There should be 10 no-confidence motions, not one. We say to the government, you have wasted enough time. For 2 years you have been unable to apprehend even one opposition MP. This is why we formed this movement, because no matter who it is and which government they are from, if there is wrongdoing, then they must be punished. On the 15th, we will fight for this. We call on the people to join us. You may have seen the independence which the lawyers at the Bond Commission had. They acted with professionalism, upholding their pride. Did they bow to political interference from anyone? Was the Commission influenced by anyone? I'm not the one saying that it was totally independent. This is what is being said. The law of the country must be implemented the way the people of the country want it to be implemented. It has come to a position where politicians and people who steal public property are being punished. We are especially grateful to the President. The people of the country are waiting for the thieves to be brought to court and were hoping that this could be expedited. The people are frustrated by the delay. I believe the Justice Minister needs to pay far more attention to this.
The Public-Funded Information and Communication Technology Agency, or ICTA, is facing a severe crisis situation at present.
3 projects undertaken by ICTA have become immensely controversial topics in society. The failed Google Loon project, the failed Total Pay National Payment Platform project, the stalled ENIC project. ICTA's actions, which have caused the bleeding of public funds allocated for information and communication technology development, have been subject to severe criticism. Recently, Chief Opposition Whip Kumara Dissanayake raised questions in Parliament regarding the national payment platform Total Pay Scandal. 3 private companies had been proposed to establish the national payment platform. However, this national level project was only submitted for cabinet approval in 2016. I have the cabinet paper with me. The company that was selected was Total Pay. This company was only registered on the 1st of March 2016. In 2015, they said 4 companies were selected. But the company that was eventually selected was only registered in March 2016. At the same time, when you look at their profile, the Total Pay company claims to have received digital instruction rights to establish the national payment platform from the ICTA. This could result in a third party, which is not a bank, being entrusted with all future transactions in the country and also cause the central bank to lose its regulatory powers. This also creates space for money laundering to occur. The security of the information of the parties in these transactions will also be compromised. It has said that the proposed national payment platform project will not be under the regulatory power of the central bank. At the same time, in a letter to the then Finance Minister, the Governor of the Central Bank had highlighted the fact that this project will not be under the supervision of the Central Bank. Cabinet has been misled on this. While the suspicious activity was halted when it was brought to light by the media, given that the company in question has claimed that it has been given digital instruction rights, the danger still exists. What action will the government take regarding these white-collar crimes where public funds are stolen and utilized to grant business opportunities for personal friends? We say to the government, do not wait for the final moment to take action after the institutions have been destroyed and the country has been robbed blind. Take action immediately. Investigate the damage caused to ICTA and the country. As a citizen of this country, as citizens' organizations, we call on the government to institute legal action.
Sri Lanka Free Against Corruption, the island-wide anti-corruption movement launched by Newsfirst, continued its journey today, where the general public call for more youth participation in politics.
There is a dearth in the number of youth in politics. The youth who have taken a step forward are not given an opportunity. It is the responsibility of the people to vote MPs who possess a sound knowledge.
It is important to vouch for the youth.
The previous and the present government have done no good for the country. Their actions have only brought it down even more. The youth should be able to choose the right leader in the future.
The Sri Lanka Free of Corruption campaign was in effect in the Polonnaruwa and Galle districts today.
People are sent behind bars for at least 3 months or a year when a banana cluster is robbed. Their assets should be seized because it is our money which is being robbed.
The team, which commenced its campaign from the Attanakadawala town in Polonnaruwa, later travelled to other areas including Diyabaduma, Girithale and Hingurangoda. No matter which government we elect, at the end of the day, they will only take care of themselves, not the country.
It is only the colour of the face that changes, but the theft remains constant.
The team, which travelled across the district of Galle, commenced their journey in Baddegama today. The way of thinking needs to cater to the youngsters. The normal way of thinking should be transformed. The country needs the young generation.
Former Minister Janaka Bandara Thennakoon participated in an almsgiving at his residence in Yapagama, Dambulla. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa was also present at the event.
You are all aware of the current situation in the country. Ministers and MPs are at loggerheads. They bicker and threaten to bring no confidence motions against each other. They point fingers calling each other thief. In the past, they were pointing at me and calling me a thief. But now, they are calling each other thieves. The country's precious resources are being sold to China. The airport is being sold to India. But initially, they were ranting about it, saying that these assets have no value. However, they are the very ones which are being sold for millions. Why do you think they are selling them? We need to find out who claimed the commissions which came out of it. They are burdening the people not because of the debt, it is because of the heist. The loss that was incurred through the central bank heist, which amounts to billions of rupees, is what's being recovered through taxes that are being imposed on even the vegetables.
Speaking during an event held in Atampitiya, Halyala, State Minister of Highways Didan Perera had this to say.
As per the evidence on the central bank bond issuance at present, my school friend Ravi Kannangara must resign. It would be good for the government if he resigns. At the same time, I said it would be good for the party if Baby Duminda also resigns. Baby Duminda, Baby Namal, they are all political babies. Mahinda Rajapaksa went wrong when he attempted to make Baby Namal a bigwig as soon as he entered politics. Mahinda was defeated because the deal maker Basil Rajapaksa was brought in and he destroyed everything. It was Baby Namal and Uncle Basil that defeated Mahinda, not us.
State Minister of Foreign Affairs Vasantha Senanayake, who attended the 15th BIMSTEC ministerial meeting held in Kathmandu, returned to the island today.
I believe it will be done by the 15th. A new secretary will also be appointed soon. Prasad Karyavasan will be appointed on the 15th. I am not sure, but as far as I know, according to the discussions before I attended the summit, Tilak Marapan is proposed to be appointed.
Yet another village constructed under the Samatha Sevana Yali Pibiden Udagamana program was declared open today. According to Minister of Housing and Construction Sajid Premadasa, 500 Udagamana housing projects will be completed before the end of this year.
Sri Vibhuthigama, constructed in the Kudabava area in Anuradhapura East, is a 37th Udagamana village. The project, which consists of 29 houses, has been completed at a cost of 36.7 million rupees. 350 low-income families from the area were given concessionary housing loans at the opening ceremony.
I would like to challenge this group that shout for no reason. If you have a backbone, come to take a look at this massive development project with Premadasa's son. They will not accept this challenge. Without doing so, they keep on harping on the same tune, saying that nothing is being done, nothing is being done. But in reality, something is being done, especially at the Ministry of Housing and Construction. There are no lies or deception in our ministry. I am proud to say that every cent in this ministry will go into solving the problems of the people.
Yesterday marked the International Youth Day. The 2017 International Youth Day was commemorated under the theme Youth Building Peace.
The theme aims to highlight the importance of promoting peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable and inclusive institutions at all levels.
Young people have a big potential to contribute to society. Sri Lanka has 4.4 million young people, which means that we have a big potential for national development. It's important now to invest in young people's health and education, particularly sexuality education and sexual reproductive health services.
And with that, we wrap up tonight's edition of Weekend Primetime News. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.